Being in love is not a good enough reason to get married. The Sacred Search by Gary Thomas. Audiobook summary and review by StoryShots. Gary Thomas challenges the cultural obsession with finding your soulmate in The Sacred Search. What if it's not about who you marry, but why? He replaces it with a more biblical concept, finding a soulmate, someone who will walk with you in seeking first the kingdom of God. When you get the why of marriage right, the who becomes clearer. Stop chasing feelings and start building mission. Most dating advice tells you to follow your heart. That is the worst possible strategy. Women tend to fall for men who thrill them emotionally for 12 to 18 months, then frustrate them for decades. Men fall for physical attraction, which is the trait most likely to change over time. Infatuation is not love. It is a temporary chemical state that clouds judgment. The entire search needs reframing. Instead of asking whether this person makes you feel amazing, ask whether this person can help you run the race God has laid out before you. If two people unite around the purpose of seeking God's kingdom and righteousness, they set themselves up for a fulfilling marriage. If they unite around feelings alone, they set themselves up for disappointment the moment those feelings fade. Much kingdom time is wasted on ill-matched people trying to make their marriages a little less insufferable. The decision about whom to marry is an act of stewardship, not a gamble on chemistry. Character matters more than chemistry. You cannot know someone's character until you have seen them in a variety of situations over time. Premature sexual involvement can cement a relationship to someone who is not actually a desirable marriage partner. Slow down and evaluate. Does this person demonstrate genuine humility and a willingness to forgive? The Bible tells young men to search for a woman of character. Charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. For women, do not marry a man based on his potential. Marry the man he is today. If his character has no foundation, there is nothing to build on. A good relationship is not something you find, it is something you make. Knowing someone's character means watching how they treat people who cannot do anything for them. Align on the big questions before you commit. Most couples avoid difficult conversations until after the wedding. That is a catastrophic mistake. You must discuss evolving roles, expectations around gender, finances, parenting philosophy, and sexual history before making a lifelong commitment. If you disagree on whether marriage should be egalitarian or complementarian, you can still worship the same God, but it will be difficult to raise the same kids or operate the same household. Sexual compatibility also requires directness. If there is no sexual attraction, you will have a difficult time fulfilling your role as a spouse. But the first priority is to find a spiritually compatible person, and then, under that umbrella, find a sexually compatible person. If you reverse those two categories, you can expect short-term satisfaction at the risk of long-term frustration. Christianity does not direct us to focus on finding the right person. It calls us to become the right person. If this changed how you think about choosing a life partner, someone in your life probably needs to hear it too. Final summary. This summary of The Sacred Search by Gary Thomas threads together mission over emotion, character over chemistry, and alignment on the big questions into a single argument. The why of marriage determines the who. When you seek first the kingdom of God, the decision about whom to marry becomes an act of stewardship, not a gamble on feelings. But the book goes further. The full summary explores how to evaluate a potential partner's spiritual maturity, how to avoid mercy marriages rooted in pity rather than love, and what to do when past sexual history complicates the present. It also includes a framework for making wise investments in your own character so you become more attractive as a marriage partner. We're putting together the full summary of The Sacred Search right now, with a visual infographic and animated video. Follow the book in the StoryShots app to get it the moment it's ready.